here we are once again, folks. Friday Night Tech Talk. And you thought it was going to be just me, but it's also Will is back. He's gracious enough to come in. And
What's going on, everybody?
I want to introduce you all to Saeed. Saeed, say hello. Is your mic working? Say something. I don't know that he can hear us anymore. Okay. All of a sudden, we can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me, George?
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
Okay.
So technical difficulty. Sorry, we can't hear you anymore.
Now wait. The echo we just had is gone. So he just did something.
Okay. All right, I'm going to.
Sorry. I'll message him in the
Well, I'm removing
chat.
him. Let's see if I can. All right, now I'm going to add him back in and see. Saeed, are you hearing us? And can we hear you? All right, you go ahead and message him in the chat. Anyway, folks, sorry for our technical difficulties. And I'm going to.
Yeah, we work good.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to let him know to let us know. Let us know. Good. Okay. All right, I sent him a message in private chat. Right, now we're going to the comments. And all right, so once again, Nigel wins the prize. Nigel was in here at 6:09 p.m. His very first comment was, 6 Louise, where are you? He likes to rub it in. And Eleanor was right behind him at 6:15. So hi, Nigel. Hi, Eleanor. And after that, we had Ted came in very early. And then Cisco 2010, Crisco 2010. Brian came in. And let's see, I think that's everybody that's in right now. According to this, we've got 4 people watching on YouTube. And oh no, we've got 4 people watching on Facebook, because I'm broadcasting to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So hopefully Saeed will get his stuff together and I'll be able to bring him back in the stream. But I was very happy that Will was able to join me tonight, because normally both Will and Mike take off the last Friday. But I guess, Will, what do you have? Free time on your hands from the job or what?
Well, no, I go to work, but I ain't working Saturday, so.
Okay, good.
And just,
Well, it looks like I'm off for a few months or whatever time this thing takes to go.
Whatever, this is over, right?
Yeah, but not a big deal to me yet, so I'll be fine for quite a while. Brian says, man, I need a haircut. Jealous tan wouldn't hurt either.
You see what he said? He said Mike looks different. So I told him, I said, yeah, Mike got tan and a haircut during the COVID crisis.
Oh, okay. There it is. All right. Let's see. All right. So, okay. Saeed is back. Let's see if I can bring him in. Bear with us, folks. All right, Saeed, can you hear us?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back. All right. Don't touch anything.
Sorry about it. I don't know what happened there.
This is part of the thrill of live broadcasting, of live streaming. I'm trying to see it on Facebook, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, I got it. Okay. All right.
All right.
Now
So
see both at one time. So, Saeed, is this your very first live broadcast ever?
Yep, this is my premiere, my debutante.
Okay. So he decided to come with Mobile Visa to become a star. All right. All right, so let's get on to some stories.
All right, now somebody's got the stream on. Who has it? Saeed, you got the stream going
Yeah, just turn the
on
sound
your
down.
phone, maybe?
No.
Yeah, just mute it.
Okay.
Yeah, I paused it.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Now my sound just came back on.
All right.
Now it's me.
All right.
Okay. For some reason, whenever I bring them up on Facebook
It comes
or
back open.
YouTube, the sound comes back on, even though I have it on silent. Don't know what that's about, but I've got them both down now. All right, so we're going to move on to our stories. And of course, since there's no avoiding it, I'm starting with the COVID-19, naturally. Once my computer cooperates a little bit. See if I can get the story over here. All right, I'm going to start with the first story. I just picked a story, me being me, about COVID-19 exercise, what's okay and what's not. So let's see if I can share that screen. Here, and I'm sharing, and there we go. All right, so I just thought this was an interesting article and people might find some usefulness from the information. So this was on the news network mayoclinic.org. So this is basically from the Mayo Clinic. This is from the 22nd, so 5 days ago. COVID-19 exercise when ill, what's okay and what's not. Exercise is important for a healthy body and mind, but if you're feeling under the weather, you may wonder what's okay to tackle or if you should hang up your sneakers. Dr. Daniel Montero, a Mayo Clinic sports medicine physician, offers some advice for when to exercise. But everybody's staying home. I'm thinking more people are going to be exercising, so this might be helpful. Exercise is medicine. If you have symptoms above the neck, things like runny nose, sneezing, or common colds such as nasal congestion or runny nose or minor sore throat, you're okay to exercise, says Dr. Montero. Exercise may even help you feel better by opening up your nasal passages, for instance. But you may want to reduce the intensity and length of your workout and limit group activities, he said. Instead of running, for instance, go for a walk. Any amount of exercise has benefits, says Dr. Montero. If you have a fever, body aches, fatigue, or other symptoms, such as a stomachache or hacking cough, Dr. Montero says it's best to stick with bed rest for a few days until your symptoms subside. We recommend you postpone exercise if you have symptoms below the neck, such as chest congestion, hacking cough, upset stomach. And if you have a fever, it's best to give your body a few days to rest and recovery. A fever is your body's way of telling you to slow down, and it's important to listen to your body. And basically what that little video says is the same stuff he's saying here in the article. As you recover, go a bit slower when returning to exercise. With current recommendations for social distancing around COVID-19, you may want to consider skipping the gym and taking your workout outdoors, which is what I do. Regardless of where you exercise, at a gym or at home, don't forget to wipe off equipment, including bikes, weights, benches, and yoga mats. And make sure you are staying attuned to your body's need for fluid. Drink to thirst, but be aware if it's warm outside, you may need to take in more fluid, says Dr. Montero. Talk with your health provider if you have concerns or experience additional pain or symptoms when you exercise. Exercise guidelines call for 150 minutes of exercise a week. As soon as I read that, I'm like, I do that in one day, but that's just me. Okay, so me being me, folks, I think most of you know, I'm somewhat of an exercise fanatic. Today I rode 17 miles on a bicycle. Yesterday I rode 19 miles. Day before I rode 17 miles. So tomorrow I'll probably just use my gym at home and won't go out exercising. Now I need to get back to, okay. All right, so that was our first story, and I just thought some people might find that useful. So let me stop the screen. Okay. All right, next one up, again, it's dealing somewhat with coronavirus. And Will, you're going to take this one as soon as
All
I get
right.
the screen share, all right?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, there it is. All right, Will, it's all yours.
All right. This one is from Digital Trends. Tech firms donate 10 million face masks stockpiled after California wildfires. That's very nice of them. Apple and Facebook have been stockpiling millions of face masks for months, just not for the coronavirus, officially known as COVID-19, referred to as coronavirus. The tech giants announced this week that they were donating a combined 9.7 million masks to help fight the deadly pandemic. Medical equipment originally stored following a different disaster, last year's California wildfires. The companies were following a new regulation from the state's Occupational Safety and Health Standards Board, CNBC reports. The new rule requires companies to provide respiratory equipment like N95 masks for workers when air quality dipped, according to the report. The board added that substitutes like scarves or clothing tied around someone's nose and mouth, as well as surgical masks, would not be sufficient to protect people from smoke inhalation as the wildfires intensified. The regulation states the N95 filtering face piece respirator is the minimum level of protection for wildfire smoke. Particulates in the air are the problem when it comes to using masks without the respirator face piece. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, issued the following statement. Settings where face masks are not available, healthcare personnel might use homemade masks, like a bandana or scarf, for care of patients with COVID-19 as a last resort. However, homemade masks are not considered PPE, since their capability to protect healthcare personnel is unknown. Caution should be exercised when considering this option. Homemade masks should ideally be used in combination with a face shield that covers the entire front that extends to the chin or below in the sides of the face.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing the screen.
There's still more, George. Hold on. There's still a little more. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Let me bring it back.
So
Anyway,
nearly 10.
Jerome has
Okay.
joined us. Okay.
What's going on, Jerome?
Yo, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Jerome, man.
Okay. And Jerome, that's Saeed. Saeed, that's Jerome.
Hey, how's it going? How you doing?
And this is Saeed's very first time broadcasting live.
Well, welcome, Saeed. Welcome.
Hey,
All right, go ahead.
I'm all right.
Go ahead. Will. I'm sorry.
Then they got a little quote here from Tim Cook. Says our teams at Apple have been
Hey.
helping. What? What?
Is there a delay between, because the sound cut out my phone again, so I just streamed the audio from my tablet. Is there a delay?
Uh-huh.
I feel like there's a delay.
So I
Yeah,
don't have
hey.
a delay. Usually the delays, I have zero delay, but it might be your internet. So that might be something that
And
might,
where
because
do you live
you're
at?
obviously having a delay responding back to us. Yeah, there's a delay for you for sure. That's a long delay.
Yeah, it is. That's a.
Hold on,
That's a pause.
Saeed, are you using StreamYard to watch?
I'm getting the audio.
No,
Yeah, I'm getting
don't
I'm
use the
getting the
audio.
audio from the YouTube.
Hold on. Real quick, don't use the audio from your iPad or whatever. Don't watch a stream on YouTube. That there's a delay. There's like a 20-second delay.
Yeah, it is a delay.
So
Yeah.
you need to do the stream with us on StreamYard. FYI. I'm waiting 20 seconds so he can hear this.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think to tell him that, but yeah, you never want to watch it on YouTube.
Right.
One moment.
Yep, there you go. He figured it out.
Okay.
So we're talking about
We're talking
what's
about
going on?
Apple and Facebook donated a lot of masks that they had stockpiled from when the California had the wildfires.
They
Right.
had it stockpiled and what? They just held on to it?
But no, they
Yeah,
had
I guess
last year's wildfires, and they
This-
decided
yeah.
they should
Oh, they decided now was a good time to hand it out weeks into the pandemic.
No, listen.
Oh, okay.
It's-
I don't know. You know me. I'm ready to get upset.
I know. Yeah, Jerome's
We've
mad
already seen your
It doesn't-
mood earlier today.
It doesn't let me see. I don't know when they gave it. But yeah,
I don't need.
what's today? Yeah, it says this was from March 25th, so I don't know when they gave it, but it said they had the CDC made them give everybody respirator masks
Mhm.
when they had the fires, so they donated those to to people now, like the hospitals, whatever.
Yeah.
They probably just wrote it late because
Yeah, they
yeah.
got like 9.7 million masks, so pretty good. I
Because,
think.
What's his name? Tim Cook tweeted that on the 21st, so they must have gave him out a while ago. Maybe this was
Okay.
the
Exactly.
first. Yeah.
All right, you want to continue?
Yeah, let me finish. Tim Cook had a tweet, said our teams at Apple have been working to help source supplies for the healthcare providers fighting COVID-19. We're donating millions of masks for health professionals in the US and Europe. To every one of those heroes on the front line, we thank you. Then the end of the article says, though nearly 10 million might sound like a lot of masks, federal officials have estimated that the real need over the course of the next year is up to 3.5 billion masks, given the quick spread of the disease. Thousands of medical workers across the country have made public pleas to friends and family on social media to donate their N95 masks or sew masks that could serve as a makeshift replacement. Infection rates among hospital personnel is incredibly high compared to the general population in the hardest hit places. In Italy, people are using 3D printers to make N95 masks and ventilator substitutes. Car manufacturer Ford also announced that it will partner with 3M and GE Healthcare to begin producing not just N95 masks, but also ventilators, which are in short supply, particularly in New York City.
Okay.
I know
So-
I got a makeshift mask. I got a
That's what I was about to ask.
mask. Yeah, I got one of those. My job has masks, but they're like they're so in short supply that they're like you gotta take it home and bring it back. And we don't have N95 masks. They
Oh.
basically were like, go get your own. They were like, go get your own masks.
So you
Yeah.
were able to do that?
Well, no, you can't get an N95, not around
Right.
here. And you look online, they're like, people are charging ridiculous amounts for them, and the shipping, you'll get it in like May. So, my sister made some masks, and then we got like a little pocket in there, and you can get the little 3M filter and stick it in there.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta do
And that's
what
like the
you gotta do.
best you can do, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, we just started taking people from the hospital, so it's been getting kind of crazy.
All right, Saeed is back. I'm going to try to hit him in again. Let's see
Cool.
how we. All right, Saeed, you're back. Can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. From an iPad to an iPhone to a MacBook. One of these has to work.
No, that's work. It's working great now. Sounds really good.
It works great.
Yeah.
It cuts out later. We'll see which one goes to distance.
Oh God, I need to upgrade all of your guys' internet. Give you all of you guys
Listen,
mics.
I've got gigabit speed. I'm good.
You got
my
gigabit
internet-
speed, but you need a mic, Will. You definitely need a mic. 'Cause
I'm not
sometimes you
buying
kind of
no
go
mic.
in and out.
He has
That's my earbuds.
best friends already. Ooh.
There goes George. That's my earbuds.
All right, let me take a look at some of these comments. I haven't been looking at the comments at all. Yeah, Brian said the latency was noticeable with Saeed before, so hopefully it's okay now. Yeah, we'll.
I thought it was slick. Like I was like, you know what? It cut out. I'll just connect it to my iPod, and I could just look at you guys and just sync it in my mind. But
No, that's too
I was
much
like-
work. That's too much work.
I was like, hey, Jerome. 20 seconds later.
Yeah.
Now, his Crisco 2010, his mom's a retired nurse, and she was giving people mesh, which I think is pretty nice. That's good.
They've been getting retired healthcare people to come out of retirement to help.
Yeah,
It's
which is
really
the most
crazy.
awful thing to do.
I know.
So now the
You're
elderly
retired,
who
so you're
like
elderly, yeah.
yeah, just no.
It's crazy.
It's not
I wish they would renew my license for free. I mean, they haven't offered me that. But, yeah.
renew your license. What do you mean?
Yeah, my nursing license is due in May.
Dude, they're about to.
I gotta pay to do it.
There's a bunch of people who they're trying to let graduate early. A
Yeah,
bunch
they're
of nurses
graduating
trying to
doctors
graduate
early.
early.
Yeah,
Yeah, they should
Wow.
just
Yeah,
renew
that's
it.
true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
bunch of doctors got
crazy.
graduated early.
Mm-hmm.
Saeed,
Trial
you
by fire.
see that?
Hi, Crisco.
All right, Saeed, you were just, first of all, I forgot to mention, if those of you seeing my part of the stream, I decided to make tonight my Doctor Who night. So all the pictures you're seeing behind me have something to do with Doctor Who, including my shirt. Okay.
Wow.
I'm a huge
Oh.
Doctor Who fan, have been for, I don't know, 45, 50 years, a long time. Because back in...
Those been going on that long?
Yes, but I was going to say, back in 98,
I don't even know who Doctor Who is.
I've never watched it, but I've heard of it.
Now check this out.
Yeah, I watched some shows when I was in England.
Running from 63 to 98. So it was by far the longest TV show on earth at the time. Then it went off for a while, came back in 2003, went off, came back in 2005, and now it's kind of sporadic. But the reason you're seeing all these faces is because when they first started Doctor Who in 63, he was an old man. And somebody came up with a brilliant idea, because he's supposed to be from another planet, Gallifrey, and people from Gallifrey, they can renew their bodies. So when one actor dies, you just replace him with another actor, and Doctor Who has been alive all these years.
What a
which
great plot to put in there.
I think is brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, you're old? Okay, get someone else in there. Replace him.
The funny thing was, they put the second Doctor,
Oh, man.
they had the idea before the first guy died, because they put the second Doctor in when the first guy retired. But ever since then, there have been a few of them that have died. And they even changed it to a woman now. The current Doctor's a woman.
Mhm.
So I just think it was very brilliant stuff. So I just
Yeah,
decided to
Good
make
idea.
at my house, it's Doctor Who night tonight.
There you go.
Okay.
Listen, you used your VPN to get Doctor Who on Netflix?
Actually, I can get Doctor Who on Google Play Movies, because I have so much money stored up from Google that I never have to really pay for anything. Everything's free from my Google. What do you call it? Google Rewards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have right now.
What you got on there?
I've got $75 in there, and I haven't paid for a
Dang,
movie
George.
from Google in 6 years.
Damn.
It's not about to expire. You got to keep up with it. Make sure it don't expire.
Yeah, Jerome, they expired after a year, but I was using Jerome about, I think all the money I've donated to you through Super Chat, that
Uh-huh.
has straight out of my Google money. So you're
Really?
getting that
Well,
money.
hey,
comes
you
from
don't,
Google.
first of all, you don't need to go through all that, but obviously, I appreciate that. So thank
Okay.
you, George.
Well, we need to be supporting each other.
Hey,
All right.
I hear you.
All right, so I'm going to the next story, and Saeed, you're back in time, because this is the story we decided you were going to read. So I'm sharing it right now. Okay, Saeed, it's all yours.
Hold on.
This is from The Verge.
Yeah, it keeps blinking on. Patreon says more creators are signing up for accounts than usual. Patreon says that the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic have reached its platform. In a blog post today, the company said more than 30,000 creators signed up for an account in the first few weeks of March.
Holy cow.
These creators are likely independent artists who have been particularly impacted by the government restrictions of large gatherings, as well as restaurant and business closings. The company also says average new patron growth across the US, UK, Canada, Germany, Australia, and Italy is up 36.2% compared to February, which suggests that people are seeking out ways to support their favorite creators. Good. Their report doesn't give any concrete numbers about the number of patrons that have signed up in the past few weeks, and instead only offers some graphs and charts. At the same time, the company has seen more people delete their pledges, and some of those people cited COVID-19 as a reason. Again, it doesn't provide concrete numbers or percentages, even in this case, although it notes that the gain in fan support outweighs people's cancellations.
Good.
Patrons report is relatively expected during this time. Of course, as the business closes, independent creators are seeking ways to recoup revenue, whether it be through donation-based live streams or ongoing membership support on services like Patreon. It's disheartening to hear that some people are canceling their memberships, but that also lines up with what we expect. The economic outlook for the US and the world is grim right now, which is prompting people to tighten their budgets. Patreon gives the independent creators the power to reach their fans, but if those fans are out of a job, the platform is at risk too.
So I just thought it was interesting, the whole Patreon thing. Jerome, are you seeing any new Patreon supporters since this?
No, not on my end. I mean, I'm very thankful for the people who do support me, but I mean, I can't even get my videos on YouTube recognized. The only video that did well recently was a video when I had to talk about how Pornhub was going to be free.
Yeah.
So that was the only, and actually when I made that video, I had about 100 people unsub to me. So no, I haven't seen an increase. It is nice though that I mean this is to be expected, right? A lot of people are home, a lot of people are trying to find other ways to do things, and I think it's also giving people a platform where they're like, hey, I've been wanting to do this for a while, I got laid off, I got to file for unemployment, I can't leave the house, maybe I'll be a YouTuber, maybe I'll be a Twitch streamer. So it's great to see. I just it's also at the same time, it's like we got new competition, so it just makes it harder for the playing field for a lot of people, I think too.
Which prompts me to ask you a question, because I think I may be in a minority. Do you see other YouTubers as competition?
No, for me, I don't. I mean, I say that in jest.
I don't either, but I know YouTubers who take that seriously.
Yeah, so for me, I don't even really, honestly, at this point, I don't see myself as much of a tech YouTuber as I used to. At this point, I literally, I just want to do my own thing. I want to be happy doing my own thing. It's hard to come by any money at this point, you know?
Right.
So I right now I'm just trying to hold on to everything and just hopefully this thing blows over. But you know, and I keep joking around with people when I say, well, I guess I'll see you in 2021, because I think that might be a reality, but who knows?
I don't think so, but let's hope not. But one thing I have to say, my impression since you got back to Chicago is that you're enjoying your life. So
oh my God. For sure. It's weird. You know, what's funny is now that we're quarantined and we're supposed to be here at home, when people talk to me about it, I'm like, yeah, it makes me feel like when I was in LA again. Because in LA, when I lived in LA, I didn't go out and do anything. I was just stuck in my apartment most of the time. So it felt like quarantine anyway.
Yeah.
But
yes, you lived in LA for a year and something?
Nah, not even a year. A little over half a year. So 7 months I was there for, until I decided. Yeah,
you love Chicago. That's obvious.
It's my home, man. I can't. I think a lot of people feel that way about, you know, their hometown or what makes home for them. And so
I guess you could say, this is my kind of town, Chicago.
George is always going to have something planned up. But yeah, you're right. It's home, man.
All right. We ready to go to the next one?
Sure.
And Jerome, this is going to be yours.
It's mine. So what do we have here?
SpaceX one, you got it?
Yep, I got it pulled up. Let me know when I see it show up on yours, I'll go for it. Okay. So I haven't read this article. Interesting. So this article is SpaceX is the latest tech giant to join efforts against the coronavirus. SpaceX became the latest company to create and donate supplies such as face masks and hand sanitizers to help hospitals fight the coronavirus, formerly known as COVID-19. An internal memo sent to SpaceX employees via email this past weekend announced the company's new initiative to make and donate these much-needed supplies to healthcare workers and medical facilities, according to CNBC. SpaceX reportedly already made and donated 75 face masks and 100 protective suits to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, which is located in California near the company's headquarters. Digital Trends reached out to SpaceX for comment on the initiative. We will update this story when we hear back. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk announced last week on Twitter that his other company, Tesla, plans to build ventilators for American medical facilities. Musk further confirmed on Twitter on Wednesday that Tesla will soon start the production of ventilators at its Gigafactory in Buffalo, New York. Real quick here, I am, and I've said this before on my own stream, I am not fond of billionaires, at least a whole lot of them, because I just feel like it's just way too much money with way too much power and influence. And then I see Elon Musk doing these things, and it makes me kind of feel better that there's somebody out there who's actually trying to do some good for the people.
Well, I think Mark Cuban's another guy who seems to be doing an awful lot of good for a lot of people. And he's also got the ears of people in Washington. And I heard him interviewed today, and he has some pretty good ideas for in general. So I think there are a couple of billionaires who are actually doing some good stuff here.
I mean, with all that money, I'm just hoping that they step up, because there's a lot of us right now who are in really tight spots, who are going to be in a lot tighter spots as soon as, hopefully, if people don't get infected economically, this is going to be such a huge impact for all of us. And it scares me. It really puts me in a weird spot where I just hope that we all come out of this okay.
I just tend to have the faith that we will. And I agree with something Cuban said today. Americans tend to bounce back, and it's kind of built into us all, it seems like, and we always have.
It's true.
Will.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. The one thing that kind of scares me is when they start talking about the unemployment rate it could hit up to 30% or higher. And we haven't even seen anything like that since the Great Depression. Right. And,
Right.
I mean, so I think something that a lot of people don't think about either is, so you might not get infected, which is great if that happens and the pandemic passes. But after that passes, and let's say you lose your job, or you can't make enough money, or you're someone like me who tries to freelance and do this kind of work, who does not have health care. If something happens to me, I can't pay for it. There's an economic impact there where a lot of people, hopefully not, but in reality, people are going to die if they cannot pay for healthcare, or if they can't pay for medications. I was just talking about that article today where a 17-year-old kid died. He was 17 years old because they wouldn't admit him into urgent care.
That really hit you hard, didn't it?
Yeah, and it did. It hit me hard.
Really?
Like I had to stop my stream early because it really got to me. I mean, all of it got to me. But this kid was turned away, and so I read that article later today on my earlier stream with my news arc. But on the way to the hospital, he ended up having cardiac arrest after he got turned away, because they said, no, you can't come here. You need to go to a public hospital. And like it doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah, that's cold. That's serious.
They turned him away. Why? Because he didn't.
Because he didn't have health insurance.
Yeah, but they're not
How do
supposed
they
to
know?
do that. Hospitals aren't supposed to do that.
They're
That's
supposed to
against
know
the
that
law.
after the fact. Like, once
Well, I
they
think
admit
they're
it,
Once
allowed to
they're
if
supposed to.
Still nearby, aren't they? I'm not sure.
They're supposed to let you. No matter what, they're supposed to let you in the hospital.
This wasn't a
Stabilize
hospital,
you.
Will. It was urgent care, I guess. So I don't know if their rules are
that's
different.
why.
But
That's
that's
why,
the thing.
It's urgent care.
But see, that's the thing though. That's the crazy thing. It doesn't have to be like that. I hate anyone that wants to argue with me about that. If somebody's going in there and they feel like something's wrong or they're dying, like, dude, do something. Like, this is somebody's life that you could save.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think that urgent care would be the first place that somebody would get taken? Because why would you be there if it wasn't urgent?
Yeah, exactly.
You know
It's in the name.
When you go to urgent care, I know I've asked before. I've been there a lot. I got insurance, but I've seen people come in and to go in there with no insurance, it's $200. The one around here, anyway, it's $200
No, they're
just to go to the
expensive.
back. That doesn't even count. Like, that's just to go back there. That doesn't count what they do for you. So seeing the doctor is more. You know what I mean? Everything is. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense because a few times I've been to urgent care. Well, of course, I've had health coverage, so I just gave them my health cards and I'm good, So
And urgent care, like everything else, is a business. So urgent care can probably do whatever they want. Because
Oh
I
yeah,
know
of
just
course.
in the past like 5 years, I think I have like maybe 8 urgent cares within like 2 miles. Like it's crazy.
Wow.
Everybody has
Right.
urgent care. Everything that closes
Wow.
turns into an urgent care. The bank, the dollar store, everything, everything becomes an urgent care.
My God.
yeah, exactly.
It's it's crazy.
Yeah. Brian saying
That's
the public
messed up.
was overwhelmed here. He said
That is
Elm
messed up.
Hospital in New York was
Yeah, I mean, New York has the highest case right now. I think
got-
they're probably at over 40,000 people, 40,000 cases right now.
I
And
think they have people in the hallways.
that kind of
In New
makes
York, I think people like laying in
Yeah.
the hallway.
Yeah, just read that U.S. has the most cases in the world
yep,
now.
we just hit over 100,000 cases right now. We have more than the country of China. We have more than China. We have more than Italy right now.
Italy, yeah. And New Jersey is the second one under New York.
Yeah, it
I
is.
guess because we're so close.
Oh, that's why I get
Crazy.
scared. Will, like, be careful.
It's crazy.
New York and New
It's
Jersey,
crazy,
they're
man.
huge, so it makes sense.
It's crazy.
All right, Jerome, you want to continue with this article or you want to move on?
Oh, is there more to this article? Did
Yeah.
I? Or you mean just talking? Oh, I'm sorry. I know we kind of went through. No, this is I read the whole article. Did I not?
And there was
There's a bit more on the bottom
Sorry.
about how many masks they donated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah. Sorry. Hospitals across the country are facing a shortage of essential supplies like face masks, ventilators, goggles, and more as the number of coronavirus cases skyrockets. Other companies have stepped in to offer similar services to provide healthcare workers and hospitals the supplies and devices they need to treat coronavirus patients properly. HP set up a dedicated website for healthcare workers to find a 3D printing partner to make devices like field respirators, face shields, mask adjusters, and more. Fiat Chrysler Automobiles swapped making cars for face masks at its factories, and Ford announced earlier this week it would work with 3M and GE Healthcare to create respirators and ventilators. The World Health Organization officially declared the coronavirus a pandemic earlier this month. As of Wednesday, March 25th, more than 458,900 confirmed, 458,900 confirmed cases of the coronavirus have been reported worldwide, and over 20,800 deaths have been confirmed, according to an online dashboard that tracks global cases.
but I think it's nice that some of the big companies are stepping up too. So
They should be.
They should. They should.
I guess I have I'm just at this point, these guys have had tons of money for decades. We rely on them. I was just talking about that. We rely on these websites. We rely on Google and things now like StreamYard, right? Like we rely on the internet. We rely on big companies like Comcast, and they need to step up. You guys want to kind of control our country. Well, step up and do what you got to do.
I think your particular story, Jerome, I'm curious if it ties in with Will's story where SpaceX had to have those masks anyway because of OSHA's law about wildfires. So I think that's why they had so few masks anyway to give, which was only like 75.
I see. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
if you
can
remember
see
your
that.
story, Will, because in your story, Will, Facebook and Google had
They had
masks
extra
on
masks
had, or was
from
it
the fire.
Apple had? Yeah, for the fires.
Yeah.
I think that was the case with SpaceX as well, which is why they only had 75 to give
Yeah.
to begin with.
No, that makes a lot of sense. That does.
okay, I'm trying to move on to our next story, which now we're starting to actually get into tech stories, but my computer's acting up. Will, can you bring it up and share the screen?
Which one? Oh, the P40.
Yes.
All right, let me see. Hold on. Let me remember how to do this. All right,
Yeah.
share screen. I always forget. George does it. All right. Let me see. Share screen.
right.
Home tab.
When you share it here, then I can share it out to the public here.
All right, it's the P40, right?
Yep.
Android Authority. All right, is it there?
Yeah, now it is.
All
Okay,
right.
there you go. Okay,
You want me to read this one since I got it shared, or you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead. You read it.
All right. Huawei P40 series announced, zooming by competitors. This one is from Android Authority. It's a tough time to launch a glitzy new phone, but Huawei is persevering on. That's not a surprise coming from a company that has survived for almost a year on the U.S. trade block list. The new Huawei P40, Huawei P40 Pro, and the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. Wow.
I know.
Build on the glowing reputation of the P series with a strong emphasis on photography. The top of the line P40 Pro Plus is essentially Huawei's answer to the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, which in turn was a clear attempt to one-up Huawei. Like Samsung, Huawei has split its flagship series into 3 devices, complicating the decision tree for consumers. And this year, the P series suffers from a major handicap: no Google apps. Here's what you need to know about the Huawei P40, P40 Pro, and P40 Pro Plus. Good things come in threes. Pro isn't cool enough for phone makers anymore. Where Samsung has the S20 Ultra, Huawei dials things up to 11 with the Huawei P40 Pro Plus.
Stupid. So stupid.
The P40 Pro Plus is the best of the best. One you'll want if money is no concern at a time like this.
Oh, wow.
It's
Not Pro
back
Max,
is made
Pro
of.
Plus.
No, later it's going to be the Pro Plus Max. That's what it'll be.
I was about to say, wait for a new iPhone.
Yeah, right.
Its back is made of ceramic material that Huawei claims is as strong as sapphire, as opposed to the Gorilla Glass on the P40 Pro and P40. But the real differentiator is the camera system. The P40 Pro Plus comes with 2 optical zoom cameras, offering an unprecedented 10 times optical zoom. Didn't Samsung say they had 10 times?
Yeah, they also
Samsung?
have 10 times.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
But it's fake, right? Samsung's isn't real.
Yeah.
No, I think the Ultra was 30 Ultra optical, or is that the 30 is digital?
I think it was a mix. That's why. I guess this one is.
Well, there's a
really
hybrid.
doing
They
it.
have a hybrid
Yeah.
version. Yeah.
This is probably what this one's doing too. While the P40 Pro is technically in the middle, it is in fact very similar to the P40 Pro Plus. It has the same 6.5 8-inch full HD plus display, the same processor, the same battery size, the same IR-based face unlock system, and the same level of water resistance, IP68. In other words, this is the phone most people will want to pick up, the mass market flagship. The key difference is in the camera. The P40 Pro's optical zoom is 5x, just like the P30 Pro, versus the 10x on the P40 Pro Plus. It's a different story for the Huawei P40, which is smaller and less capable than its 2 companions, and thankfully cheaper. This is the phone you should consider if you like Huawei products and want a great camera but don't want to pay a lot for the privilege. Earlier Huawei flagships sported distinctive designs, but the P40 series looks pretty familiar. Huawei's new phones look a lot like the Galaxy S20 series, at least around the back. The shape inside of the camera modules are almost the same. It could be an example of convergent evolution. Designers don't have a lot of options left to arrange 3, 4, or 5 cameras without making camera modules even larger. Whatever the reason, that camera bump is massive. The P40 Pro and P40 Pro Plus feature curved glass edges. I hate that, on all 4 sides, which creates a very organic look and feel. Huawei compared it to water on the point of overflowing a glass. A large pill-shaped punch hole dominates the top, providing room for an infrared sensor. It's a first for the P series. The P30 Pro used a camera-based face unlock system, which is less reliable and secure than infrared. Huawei spiced things up with several colors and finishes. The P40 and P40 Pro feature glass backs and the choice of 2 finishes: glossy, ice white, black, and deep sea blue, and matte, silver frost, and blush gold. The matte texture should give you a modicum of protection against fingerprints and smudges. If you pony up for the Pro Plus, you'll get the ceramic material in either black or white. The P40 series is the specs powerhouse we were expecting. While we don't see the excessive 16 gigs of RAM of the S20 Ultra, you get more than enough processing power. All three models use a Kirin 990 processor, just like the Mate 30 Pro, with 8 gigs of RAM, 12 gigs for the Pro Plus, and 128 gigs or 256 gigs of storage. The expandable storage slot uses Huawei's proprietary Nano Memory 2 format. As of this writing, we don't have details on this second generation of Nano Memory. We'll update more as we learn more. Battery sizes remained unchanged on the P40 Pro, 4,200 milliamps, the same as last year. The entry-level P40 gets a minor bump to 3,800 milliamps from 3,650. Somehow, disappointingly, the P40 Pro Plus features the same 4,200 milliamp unit as the P40 Pro. We would have liked to see at least 4,500 milliamps. For reference, the S20 Ultra packs 5,000 milliamps, albeit in a bigger body. There goes the unboxing. I guess that's what's in the box.
Yeah.
We got earbuds. The P40 and P40 Pro Plus feature a 40-watt wire charging, the same as the P30 Pro, but they bump up the wireless charging spec to an impressive 40 watts. Huawei
That's
has finally
insane.
The same
Yeah,
is
it is.
wired.
Yeah, because what is no wireless. It's,
I know,
it's
but
the same as the It's
so
the same.
it will it charge just as fast
That
wirelessly?
has to be. That's what it says.
Yeah,
but that has to be
that's
a
what they're
special
saying.
charger.
Why do I feel like that phone would explode? That's
Yeah.
crazy. I'd love to see a video of them testing how quickly that would charge.
All over the.
Oh, don't worry. You know everybody's gonna have them on YouTube, but I wonder if that's a special charger.
Yeah.
That's what I
Because
think.
I think Samsung wireless charger is what is it? I don't know. I didn't even know they went that high. I didn't even know they had a 30 watt for
Oh, really?
wireless for Samsung.
Crazy.
Huawei has finally made the jump to a 90 hertz screen. On paper, the display isn't as impressive as some competitors, but we still expect a beautiful, smooth experience. The embedded fingerprint reader is now 30% larger, and according to Huawei, 30% faster. From our hands-on experience so far, that claim seems correct. The P40 and P40 Pro Plus are both rated IP68, while the P40 is IP53. Of course, the P40 series is 5G enabled. Every P series generation brings camera innovations. The P40 Pro and especially the P40 Pro Plus are no exception, though the improvements aren't as radical as last year. We get the same RYYB main sensor that replaces green pixels with yellow ones for better light sensitivity, though it's bigger than ever at 1/1.28 inches. The larger the sensor, the higher the image quality in most shooting scenarios, thanks to the reduced noise and improved dynamic range. The new sensor is almost twice as big as the sensor in the Galaxy Note 10 Plus and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. It's even bigger than the Galaxy S20 Ultras, which is 1/1.33 inches. Resolution has jumped up to 50 megapixels from 40 megapixels last year, with quad binning down to 12.5 megapixels. On the P40 Pro and P40 Pro Plus, the main 1.9 50 megapixel camera is paired with an ultra wide 40 megapixel f1.8 camera. The P40 gets a f2.2 16 megapixel shooter instead. Let's hope the software optimization matches the exquisite hardware. The Plus and the P40 Pro Plus name comes from the extra periscope lens system. While the P40 Pro has one 12 megapixel 5x periscope optical zoom lens, the P40 Pro Plus has an 8 megapixel f2.4 3 times periscope optical lens and an 8 megapixel f4.4 10 times periscope.
That's heavy.
This is true optical. It says this is true optical, not the hybrid version found on the S20 Ultra. Both telephoto cameras feature optical image stabilization. We have our initial camera compressions and our P40 Pro hands-on, but we weren't able to test out the star of the show, the P40 Pro Plus. In any case, it shapes up to be the phone camera to beat this year. They always say that, and then Google.
I'm so
comes.
tired of listening to that bull. So tired of that.
At least
Every phone is the camera to beat.
At least, at least in terms of hardware. Let's hope the software optimization matches the exquisite hardware. Don't mention the G word. Huawei really wants to shift the conversation away from the US ban and missing the Google apps, and we can't blame them. Just in case you needed the confirmation, though, here it goes. No, the Huawei P40 series doesn't have any of the familiar Google apps or the Google Play Store. While some globally popular apps are available in Huawei's own App Gallery store, a vast majority are not. That means you'll need to sideload them or make do with web versions. Furthermore, apps that rely on Google's GMS core infrastructure will not run at all on unmodified P40 devices. Huawei P40 phones run EMUI 10.1 out of the box based on Android 10. The software includes many proprietary features and services, including MeTime, just that's coming as an OTA update, which is a video audio call service, and the ability to control your phone from your Huawei MateBook. The big new feature is Celia, Huawei's own voice assistant. You can wake it by holding down. You can wake it by holding down the power button for a second, or by saying, "Hey Celia." Wow, they're really coming at Google. Any resemblance between the name Celia and Siri is purely accidental, but we tested it. You can wake up an iOS device. You can wake up an iOS device by saying, "Hey Celia."
Celia.
And that's
Celia
why
looks like.
Yeah.
It didn't wake up my phone. Celia looks like your typical virtual assistant with functions like making calls, checking the weather or your appointments, playing media, and controlling basic phone functionality. Celia will be arriving as an OTA at a later date, and it will be available in English, French, Spanish, in the UK, France, Spain, Chile, Mexico, and Colombia. And then the prices. Wow, the P40.
No, thank
regular
you.
one is $864. The P40 Pro is $1080.
Get out of
If you
here.
want to get the big dog, the P40 Pro Plus is $1534 plus tax.
I'll give you one guess which one Nigel wants.
Well, I mean, you got to get the 10 times mega zoom, whatever. But
So are you telling me that I spend $1,500 and I can't put Gmail on it? Is that what you're telling me right now?
No, you can't. But that's just, I mean, I couldn't even buy that phone because you don't even get a warranty.
You just have to do it unofficially. I think you can still sideload the apps.
Well, no, it said in the article some stuff won't work unless you, I guess, root your phone. It said some of the Google apps won't work unless you have a modded phone. So
yeah, you need to be somebody that's hanging out on XDA all day to go ahead and root or sideload or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying it's not
even root Huawei phones anymore.
Oh, really? Yeah. So I'm not saying that it's not possible. It's just it seems like such a workaround just to get stuff to work.
Plus the fact I've read other articles, even in the past, where people have side-loaded stuff to Huawei phones, and it seems like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
It's a prayer. It's a toss-up. It's a coin toss.
Yeah. I mean, that's when I sideload Gcam. I mean, I still have issues with some stuff I sideload I sideload Gcam on some of the phones that I use. Sometimes it won't take the shot properly. Sometimes the feature doesn't work at all. So,
So now
I could pay $1,500 and not have a warranty.
Yeah, just want to know if Big Dog is joined. Hey, Big Dog, and Alan from Phone Tech and Work has come in. So,
I've seen George. You don't have no issues with your S20, right? I've seen people posting on Twitter that the camera lens on the back is breaking.
I haven't.
I couldn't.
George, what is going on with your 4K video stuff? Why does it?
No idea, because it seems like.
Oh my gosh, that was weird.
First video that I clipped was kind of hazy, and then I went in the backyard, and the second one was fine. So I don't know what the deal is there.
Well, that's an issue right off the bat. That's consistent. There's no consistency then. So so you don't know if you're going to get the good S20 camera day or the bad S20 camera day.
And that's the stock camera too. Boy, you can't even use a third party. Forget about third party.
Yeah, that was the stock app. Yeah,
This is just a 4K problem or not. So
I couldn't believe how dull it looked in the beginning. I was like, wow, that's
yeah, but the
Yeah.
first video I did was much worse.
yeah.
It was like you were shooting in monochrome.
You know, with
man.
the he was shooting that log format.
yeah, exactly.
So I was looking to see if there was going to be some kind of camera update. Well, I got an update today. No camera update though.
Yeah, I don't know. I still have a hard time thinking who's going to spend the money on this without Google's services on it, unless
What Nigel was
Chinese.
asking me before the stream privately, he said he's going to get that phone, but he said, do you think people in the US will buy it without Google services? My answer would be no, I don't think so.
Hell no. In order to get it in the US, you'd have to import it, and no one does that in the US. The real question is what people in Europe do that still use Google services, because I know they don't use
Mhm.
Google services in China.
Well, I know Nigel will buy whatever Huawei top-end Huawei phone comes out. He just loves Huawei phones, and he loves the best.
You know, I realized first like P series where the P Lite isn't a thing now. They said it's the P40, the P40, and the P40 Pro Plus. It used to be there was a P Lite and then a P40, the P40. I think it was a Plus then.
Well,
I can say it was,
I think these
They
names.
copied Samsung.
The iPhone 11, the small one. So now it seems like Samsung and Huawei are following suit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all did. They all did it that way.
Exactly.
The regular one is just
Because
taking the
Huawei-
spot of the light model.
it's just funny how the regular one now is not even really a flagship.
Yeah.
It's not even a flagship. You pay $750.
Yeah.
It's not a flagship.
Exactly. And then $1,500. I mean, come on, man.
I can't.
Yeah. 15. Yeah, that's crazy.
Nobody's gonna care. Most people aren't gonna care. They're gonna, it's like
Just-
more or less people are gonna be like, you paid what for that phone? Why would you pay?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Just look at the price drop on Swapper. The S20 Ultra, whatever, it was $999.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been 2
Hey,
years.
Gary has a good point here. Right.
So their voice assistant is named after the woman from The Color Purple.
That is true.
see,
Oh, man.
Celia, come out and shave me.
Now, of course, if I bought this phone and then I had problems with Celia, I'd have to say, Celia, you're breaking my heart.
Oh
you see
my
what
God.
you see what Big Dog said in the stream, George?
Oh,
He
okay.
said,
There.
if you want a quality picture,
You can
get a
get
Pixel.
10 sisters named Candy.
I don't go there.
Yo, but I think Huawei phones with the Mate 30 they actually do really great for night mode, better than Pixels even.
Oh,
Yeah, well-
I've had a lot of tests where I've done Gcam at night, and it's come out pretty well. So
But if you remember last year, the P30 Pro, everybody was saying it was the best camera out there, even better than the Pixel. All the people that had it.
For the
I
night mode, the night mode is clearly better than the Pixel for the night mode.
Right.
I could give them that.
So they
I haven't
gotta
had
give
a
me
Huawei.
some credit, but I'm not spending that kind of money. You can bet on that.
I mean, how does I haven't watched any S20 Ultra videos or S20 videos, but how has that camera performed at night versus the iPhone 11 Pro? Is it better, or at least from what you guys have seen?
I'll go out and do some photos. I haven't even done them yet, but I will do that. The problem is when I was in Tennessee, it was easy for me to go out and do night without a lot of light around. Here,
Mhm.
there's a whole lot of lights around me, so I'm going to have to drive somewhere to get some night shots. Which
Yeah.
I will.
I mean, I want to see some night shots though that are like super dark, but I'd like to see it also in street lights, right? Or
Yeah.
with like lit up signs. I mean, I live in Chicago, so usually when I take pictures, it's not super dark anyway. But I'm just curious. I wonder how it. I would love to make these tests. I just don't have the money for it.
I
It's
will
way
go
too
out.
expensive now.
I will do both because you brought it up, and I will make sure I'll get it up.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
So I will take some shots on both sometime this weekend, and probably by Monday I'll have it up. So, but keep in mind, all you're getting from me is the plain S20, nothing else. No ultra.
I like how it's the plain one now. It's so expensive, but it's just the plain one.
George got the budget model.
the budget flagship.
The budget flagship.
I put Gcam on my note for stills, but I used the stock Samsung video app, both best of both worlds. Now I use the Notes wide-angle picture book.
Cool.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going on to the next story. I guess now my computer seems all right, so I guess I will read this one. Oh, and I'm skipping the one about Stelia because we just talked about it. So I'm going to the one about the OnePlus 8 Pro. So I'm going to share my screen, and I will read this one. Okay, so this is on Android Authority once again. Leaked OnePlus 8 Pro press render leaves little to imagination, and you can see that green phone right there. It looks kind of cool to me.
I like that. I like that. They're killing me, but I gotta win my cheeseburger.
He's
iPhone did it better.
I think Mike's gonna get a cheeseburger again.
Nah, I do like it though. I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, I like that color a lot.
The price is gonna do it. It's gonna be too
Just
expensive.
skip down way past where I wanted to go. Okay. My computer's acting a little stupid, but I think I have it somewhat under control. We got a treasure trove of apparent OnePlus 8 series leaks earlier this week, giving us everything from RAM and storage to battery details. Now, frequent tipster Steve Hammerstoffer and iGeeks blog have posted what they're called an official press render of the OnePlus 8 Pro. And it shows a phone with a green colorway, 4 rear cameras, including 3 in a vertically arranged strip, and a punch hole display with the cutout on the left side. We also spot the volume rocker on the left-hand side, power and alert switch on the right, and USB-C port, and what appears to be a speaker grill at the bottom. So those pining for a return to the 3.5-inch millimeter port days will be disappointed. This isn't the first time we've seen OnePlus 8 Pro renders from the leaker, as he's previously posted CAD renders. With this leak, press a more detailed and accurate idea of what to expect from the upcoming phone. Team tipster Ishan Agarwal claims that OnePlus 8 Pro will pack a Snapdragon 865 processor on 120 Hz screen, up to 256 gigabytes of storage, up to 12 gigabytes of RAM, and 4,510 milliamp battery with wireless charging. The leaker also points to a 48 megapixel, 48 megapixel, 8 megapixel, 5 megapixel rear camera setup, and an IP68 rating, which is a big deal for OnePlus. What do you think of the OnePlus 8 Pro line? Let us know in the comments section. So they never would pay for IP rating before, so that's kind of a big. I wonder what this is going to cost.
Yes, that's the big question.
You know,
what is this going
George,
to
you
cost?
know what they're going to do? They're going to act like the price increases because of all this stuff, but they done told us like the IP rating is probably like $20.
Yeah, but the
wireless
fact
charging is just
processor,
they're
so
gonna-
you know it's going to be 5G.
They're going to put
charge
5G. And they're going to jack up the price crazy.
exactly.
I
What
think
is
we're
their
going to
old-
reach the 800 mark.
You think
Because it's going to come with 5G, right? Yeah, maybe 800,000.
Do you think it's only going to be 8? I think it's
I
going to
thought
be
it's
more
gonna
than
be
that
more.
because they were
I
charging.
think it's going to be Pixel 4 pricing.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Would they?
5G,
Would they?
at least 9.
I think it's gonna. Would they charge for the McLaren?
I
They
don't know.
charge 1150, something
That
like
was
that.
around 800.
I think they're gonna be up there like that.
And the only reason they
Because
get to
of
do that
5G.
now is because they're going to have different models, right? That's why all these companies are coming out with model A,
Mhm.
B, C, X, Y, Z.
Yeah, but I
Because
don't think OnePlus is going to do that. I just think they're going to come with at least $900 because it's 5G and the IP68 rating. You know,
God,
Yeah,
And the
but I don't
wireless
know.
charging.
Yeah, but even they're crazy because they showed you that the OnePlus 7 Pro was basically water. They were dunking it in the water.
how
So
much?
it's
How much
not
did
like
that
they're
phone
really
go
adding
for?
that much.
How much did that
was
phone go for when it first came out?
$649, I think, the lowest one. I think
Hmm.
it topped out at $750. It
Well,
was
so
like
this 8 Pro
649,
comes with minimum
669.
128 gigs, right?
Yeah.
Or does it come minimum 256 gigs?
No, I'm thinking 128. I'm not positive. I think Mike heard.
If it's a Pro, they have to call it Pro for a reason, probably 256.
Yeah, because it says here the OnePlus 8 Pro will pack a Snapdragon 865 processor, 120. Because remember, 120 hertz screen. Oh well, it says up to 256 gigs storage, up to 12 gigs of RAM. So yeah, they might have an 8 gig version then at 128 gigs of internal. But still, I don't know. I think they're gonna charge up the ass for it. So that's my guess.
People aren't going to buy it, but not with all this stuff going on.
I put this comment up for you, Will, because Mike heard you say you like.
Yeah, George, I don't know where he came from. As soon as I said it, I looked at the thing and he had a comment talking about, I want mushrooms on my burger. I'm like, wait, he wasn't here all night.
You're gonna have to Grubhub it to him though, Will.
There you go.
I'm
That's right.
telling you.
That's right. Hey, harmless Carl is in here, so our great case maker is with us.
Uh-oh. There goes Gary. The only way I'll get a dumb plus is 39 gigs. 39 gigs of RAM.
So
yeah.
Gary's calling $1,000.
Guy's saying 1,000. I'm saying because it's OnePlus, they're going to try to sell the idea that they're not going all the way. I'm going to say 900. So we'll see. You know.
I mean, I could see 900.
That's still too much.
It's still way too much. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, they're probably going to try to keep it at least under what the competitors are having.
Yeah. Will you
it's
see
like,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. They lost their flagship killer and all that because they're with them.
They shouldn't call themselves a flagship killer anymore if they're pricing it the same as a flagship.
They're up to Sims. I think they're kind of getting to where they wanted to go in the first place, don't you think?
I don't know.
What to be a big competitor like them?
Yeah, I agree. That's what I think. That's what I think it was all about.
I wish it wasn't that way. I wish there was a company for like, you know, the everyday consumer who wants a good phone that doesn't have to pay.
To me,
used to be one.
Like, I wish they still did the OnePlus X. Remember the OnePlus X? Like, I wish they didn't do that after 1 year.
Well, Saeed, there talks that the OnePlus X might come back.
Right, but I think it's also
going to be their iPhone.
Yeah, they come back. I can forgive a $1,000 OnePlus.
Yeah, Moto and Nokia make good, affordable phones for people, and I have some of them. So I think people who can't afford those expensive ones, well, there are good phones you can buy for $300, $400, $500. Yeah. All right.
I'm just mad that they went back to a punch hole. I'm telling you, they're just using Samsung's leftover parts.
Yeah, it's the cheapest. It's the cheapest way.
They're sending them to mine because how do you go from it's so backwards to me to go from no bezel
they made like
to no nothing to go back to a punch hole. That's crazy.
I still have my OnePlus 7 Pro, and I still think that front camera is awesome. You know.
So what about the camera they released during CES with the vanishing camera hole in the back? Did they really not bring over that technology?
Not that I know of.
No.
I mean, they probably will eventually, and maybe that's when it's going to cost four digits. I don't know. I mean, I mean, I think it's cool. Everyone said it's a cool feature. Give me a OnePlus camera first that's going to beat an iPhone.
Give me a good camera, right?
Yeah.
Now keep in mind, Jerome, Saeed and I were seeing this stuff at CES 2 years ago, and that stuff still hasn't come along. You know, so
fair enough. Yeah.
All right.
They can't get the camera right, and that's if they're gonna price it like that, like Google already messes up pricing their phones so crazy, but at least if they had the camera, if their camera was like a Pixel and their build was like that, people would be more receptive to it. But
if the camera was top notch, it'd probably be the best phone right now. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I feel
You know,
about
the
it.
weird thing with OnePlus is, their cameras are never that great, but they talk about it like it is. Like they really do talk a good game during those talks. Like I gotta hand to at least
That's
that.
marketing, man.
What I
Yeah.
found
They talk about it like it's amazing, and then
one way, and then they start improving it with updates. That's
yeah. See, this is what they
No,
do is they
it
talk
was
about it like it's
barely
amazing.
okay, and then it becomes okay or good enough after the day. I feel.
Yeah.
That's
Never
what they do,
settle.
though.
Never settle.
They talk about it like they're gonna get the best camera ever, and then when people are like, "Oh, the camera is third or fourth," the people who love OnePlus are like, "But they updated it 17 times."
Yeah.
It's
They keep
it's
giving
still
updates.
not good.
Why-
Yeah, but the updates give you the illusion that it's like it's amazing now.
Well, imagine if that technology came out where they can actually make the lenses disappear and reappear, and then you show that off, and then you take a picture with that camera, and then it's garbage.
Yeah.
Who cares if it disappears? Like, just let it disappear. Then don't take a picture with it.
probably why we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Now the front camera on the 7 Pro was great. The front camera was really
agree.
good.
I agree
The
100%.
front camera was good. The back though wasn't.
The
wasn't.
fact is, about the third or fourth update, the camera starts, for me anyways, the camera starts looking pretty good. But it takes 3 or 4 updates for them to get there. You know?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah,
That's
and they
what they
can't.
do.
They just can't.
That's what they
I'm
do.
telling you, I think that's a part of their marketing. Like they're like, yeah, if we update it a lot, the fans will think that we're listening to them, and they'll keep
And
coming back.
I think you may be right, bro.
They've done it. They've done it for the 7. They did it with the 6. Like they just keep adding. Like they were like,
That's
there's no wide angle record video mode, and then they're like, people ask for it on Twitter, and they use it in their marketing. Like, yeah, we listen to the fans and added. Like y'all knew it was coming anyway. Y'all were gonna no matter what. Y'all just want people to ask for it.
Although-
keep their fan
Although I wish
base.
I wish DT did that for the Axon 10 Pro though.
Yeah, now the cameras on
I've
Their camera.
are pretty nice, except they didn't put any stabilization in there, you know. So yes, you can go to Google and stabilize it, and it comes out beautiful, you know. But I can't figure
It
out.
was also like you had these weird restrictions, like with if you wanted to, you could switch between cameras when you're video recording, but if you're recording in 4K, you couldn't switch at all,
That's true.
and then you couldn't control your frame rates.
Yeah.
Even if you went to open camera, you could never record in 24p.
God. Yeah,
I'm
that
like-
just sounds like
I
a
was like,
nightmare.
what? I was just like, why? Why? Who put these restrictions in place?
This from a guy wearing a ZTE shirt.
Hey,
At least he's not-
I only expect the. I am only hard on them because I love them.
Yeah.
Both of them. We both have ZTE shirts too. That's true. Oh, in case you didn't know, Jerome, the company that brought us to CES was ZTE.
Really
Yes.
interesting.
See,
Huh.
look what Mike said. That's where OnePlus gets everybody at because their camera's okay, but their software is really good.
Yeah,
Their
I mean,
software is
my
good.
Yeah,
my cousin
software
cousin
day one.
uses a OnePlus and he loves it because he's not a big camera guy and he thinks the camera's fine. It's like
Yeah,
it's good
like
enough
it's
for
okay.
him, but he likes
Yeah.
it because the battery is good, the performance is good, and so
Well, you
Um,
have to see.
And the alert
Hey,
slider,
you
right?
did-
The alert slider that no Android phone wants to copy.
mhm.
The problem they're gonna have though is like if the Pixel 4a comes out, people are gonna be like, "Why am I gonna give you double?" And your camera's not as good.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
It is.
Now, the last story is the FBI story. Now, Will, you're going to read, I can share the screen myself, but you're going to read it? Oh, no. No, Saeed, it's your turn to read, so you read this one.
All right. Let's see where that though. Okay.
And Jerome, you're going to love this story. Remember I told you this afternoon.
Yeah.
All right, Saeed, whenever you're ready. This is on popular.
Okay. You probably know the Federal Bureau of Investigation requires all aspiring agents to pass a rigorous fitness test. The test includes 5 components: a maximum number of continuous sit-ups in 1 minute, a timed 300-meter sprint, a maximum number of continuous push-ups, a timed 1.5-mile run, and a maximum number of continuous pull-ups if you're a candidate in the tactical recruitment program, with no more than 5 minutes between events. To pass the test, you need a maximum cumulative score of 12 points with at least 1 point in each of the 4 main events, excluding pull-ups. Thank God. If you're serious about taking the test, or if you just want to see what it's like to prepare for it, the FBI developed the free Fit Test app, which offers video instructions and tips on perfecting your form. The app, which uses your phone's accelerometer and GPS to track your progress and score your goal, is a cool way to train like an FBI agent. It's also a total invasion of your privacy.
Of course.
When you download the app from the Apple's App Store, where it's currently ranked as #1 in the reference section,
Number
or
9.
Google Play, you're giving the Bureau access to your precise location data, proximate location, shared data storage, full network connections, Wi-Fi connections,
Oh my
and call
God.
history.
Incredible.
The app can also prevent your
What?
phone from sleeping.
Unbelievable.
Basically, if the FBI wanted to know your every move, it could. But granting that level of access is completely unnecessary to use the very basic fitness app, which doesn't even suggest workouts. While it's not unusual for mobile apps to ask for extremely broad permissions, says Eva Galperin, Director of Cybersecurity at the Electronic Frontier Foundation. This information I would prefer not to give directly to the FBI without a warrant or subpoena. Here is an excerpt from the app's privacy policy, which asks you for a slew of extensive permissions to protect the system from unauthorized use and to ensure that the system is functioning properly. Individuals using this computer system are subject to having all of their activities monitored and recorded by personnel authorized to do so by the FBI, and such monitoring and recording will be conducted. Anyone using the system expressly consents to such monitoring and is advised that if such monitoring reveals evidence of possible abuse or criminal activity, system personnel may provide the results of such monitoring to appropriate officials. People are going to go to jail. The advice here is easy. If you do not want to be tracked by the FBI, don't download this app. But you should use it as an example to think about the amount of surveillance rights you're willing to give up to the federal government. The more government and corporations create apps without uniform privacy policies and a clear understanding of acceptable behavior, the more our rights as citizens stand the potential to be eroded. Am I gonna keep going? Oh, keeps going. This is more important during the COVID-19 crisis than ever before. Incidentally, the app is coming under new criticism due to recent efforts by the Bureau to promote it as a fitness solution for people staying indoors.
Good luck
How are you
with
going to
that.
sprint 300 meters indoors? What? In moments of crisis, we often focus so intently on solving for the urgent threat from softening bodies to a global pandemic that we accept certain losses to our personal security and privacy safeguards. In South Korea, government agencies are employing surveillance camera footage, credit card purchase histories, and cell phone usage to help track the recent movements of coronavirus patients and understand transmission chains. While this seems good, it has a potential to get out of hand.
Yeah.
When we let go of protections to privacy to allow for better monitoring of pandemic outbreaks, we risk never getting those protections back. Following the attacks of September 11, 2001, we lost many previously held privacy standards. These have led to more invasive surveillance measures, including facial recognition tracking. The FBI's app is a microcosm of the broad contextual issue. To access the app, we shouldn't need to or even be asked to give any additional information beyond basic telemetry data that can be used to improve the app. Asking people to choose between privacy and health is in fact the very root of the problem. Historian Yuval Noah Harari recently told the Financial Times, speaking broadly about health protections and surveillance, because this is a false choice. We can and should enjoy both privacy and health. We can choose to protect our health and stop the coronavirus epidemic, not by instituting totalitarian surveillance regimes, rather by empowering citizens. The FBI's app is a choice, and not even a particularly compelling one. You can time your own sit-ups, push-ups, runs, and all other activities on your own. Hell, all you need is a pen and paper or an Excel spreadsheet. But there are many services in the US around the world that may not be a choice for long. In China, apps are being used to take temperatures, track movements, and warn people away from others with COVID-19. Governments are considering biomedical apps in the name of protection from future pandemics. These come with extreme danger. The more governments know about our intricate biomedical composition aligned to our behavioral patterns, the easier it is for them to manipulate us, but also protect us. It is a very fine line. We may be willing to allow this in a crisis, but we need to ensure that once allowed, we have the right to revoke those privileges. We need a delete button for the tools that can lead to abject and extreme abuses of power. Rather than assume access to all of our data, companies should have to prove why they require your data in order to improve your experience. The FBI shouldn't need to access almost anything on your phone in order to help you take their test. So the question remains, why would the Bureau build it into its tool? It could just be a simple matter of lazy app creation, but the internet is rightfully questioning the intent. As a general habit, ask yourself why an app needs some info. App needs your location, fitness apps do not. Well, depends on the fitness app, I think. But
That's also true.
network tools need your Wi-Fi info. Exercise apps do not.
Great.
And this isn't just about bad app hygiene or ad continues. Sometimes it's malicious. Just think twice before sharing your info. Even if the source is legitimate, good privacy and data hygiene is critical in this data-driven age, driving age, even when being isolated at home.
As soon as I read the FBI's, what they put in there asking for the permission, it's like they are telling you we want to control you as state. That's basically what that says.
Yeah, I
No,
think it
that's
was
exactly what
just
it says.
the whole point was to spy on you, and then the whole
shows-
getting shape for our test was just the cover.
Yeah,
Yeah,
build a
it was-
database.
And they're practically telling you, we are going to spy on you as soon as you install this app. So go ahead and install. I mean, come on.
And
I
it's
mean,
in number 9. That's the thing. It's number 9 in the Apple App Store.
Yeah, because people are nobody is reading that stuff. People are just gonna hit okay. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I don't download every app and read everything. I was just talking about Zoom.
You don't even for the
Zoom doing
permissions.
that. What's
Yeah,
that?
Jerome,
Even for
Jerome,
the permissions.
Oh,
or what-
permission's different. Yeah, no, that's true. But
Jerome,
sometimes it's fine to know what they're asking for.
permission it's asking for and say no.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I guess it's weird because I'm in this position now where I just feel like they already know everything. If the FBI wanted something on me, they could already find it because they're gonna go look at whatever app I have installed that's been shared to them anyway, has probably been given to them, sold to someone else. Like I'm sure they're
No.
just collecting all that.
Not
data.
if you're using an iPhone.
Wait, who's got the iPhone? You gotta go look at the comments in the app. The first comment says,
But the
"Thank you,
worst,
FBI.
the worst
Thank
thing
you,
in that
FBI, for making."
is that you are agreeing to be monitored and recorded by FBI. That is ridiculous. Yeah.
George,
What
you
did
gotta look at
what did that comment
You
say?
gotta look at the ratings and the reviews. The first one from a year ago says, "Thank you, FBI, for making tracking legal. I was tired of having to weed through application permissions every time I would download an app. Now with the FBI app, I know I'm being watched all the time. It's refreshing to know the FBI is watching every move and
The
will swoop
FBI is
in to
taking
save
care
me
of
when
me.
I need them the most." Yeah. There's
George, feels
comments.
like it always feels like somebody's watching me. Take it away.
They are,
Yeah, the
man.
comments are
Somewhere.
crazy.
I mean,
I-
why do you think Mark Zuckerberg had when they showed his I talked about this before, that one video where they showed him in his wherever he was at his house or whatever, and he had his MacBook or laptop and there was a piece of electrical tape over the webcam because
That's
he
right.
knows
Right.
And the
people-
microphone.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But all this stuff is going to do is make us all paranoid. But of course, I have said for years, my paranoia may be the reason I'm alive today. So
I just, yeah, I don't know how you combat this. I really don't, because we
well, first of all, you don't install that app, that's for sure.
well,
Very
yeah,
easy,
obviously,
like,
but we just we do our
why is it asking
way
for
so
permission?
many
Like, yeah,
I think the best way to put this is it's also like I know people don't think about it because I think there's always the rebuttal of, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, so who cares? That's not the point. It's kind of like when they put a red light camera up or a speed camera.
Yeah.
How many times do they put a red light camera or a speed camera up, and when do they ever take it away? Never, because once it's there, it's there.
No, I can tell you specifically in Chattanooga, they had these in North Chattanooga, they had these speed cameras up for, I don't know, I moved there in 2006 and they took those down in 2013.
Well, so here's the thing. They did that in Chicago too.
so seven.
Because
Okay.
people were abused, that Chicago was abusing it. They did it where they put red light cameras and they actually had the yellow light turn red a lot quicker than the normal ones that
Oh,
did it.
really?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's sometimes when you give away those rights, or people will find a way to abuse it. And most of the time, so like, yes, in situations they'll pull it away if people complain enough, if people actually know
Mhm.
about it. But
That's
a
true.
a lot of time
People know.
take that abuse and they're gonna the thing is, it shouldn't be a thing in the first place.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah.
but and I remember people that came down that road, and it was a main road into downtown Chattanooga. They were always talking about those cameras, and I guess people complained enough that they finally made them get rid of them.
There you go.
Yeah, we had the same thing here with the red light camera. Somebody sued, I think. Somebody sued them, and then they didn't take cameras down, but they just stopped they don't give tickets out.
Okay, but see, they should have taken them down. See, at least in Chattanooga,
we still have most of them that I've seen, but it doesn't take your picture. Like, you could just run the light now. But
Right.
yeah, before they were cheating, it was somebody, he had tested it, like he timed it or something. But they
okay.
didn't give us our money back, because I think I got like 2 of
No,
them.
that's
They didn't give me no money back for it, but they got rid of the camera.
Politicians giving back money. What's wrong with this picture? Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh God. Yeah. I don't know. No, it is. Yeah. You would be dumb to download this app. I don't know.
But I think
Yeah,
people think like it's one thing to be curious about the app, but like I think as soon as the app asks you for like your call history or the ability to make calls, you should be like, hold up, because
Yeah.
it's not a fitness app. It's asking for your GPS. Like those zombie run apps
yeah.
where you have to act like I'm like chasing you so that you run faster. Like that's not out of the ordinary. But calls,
It's weird though, because it's like, I use my Apple Watch every day now, and because I can't go to the gym, I just do outdoor walks, and it's always funny to look at my workouts and then it shows me the exact trail.
It shows you where you walked.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Apple
It
knows
shows
where
you
I'm
where you
going,
walk.
what I'm doing.
You know what you got to do. You got to don't put outdoor walk. Put indoor walk, so it won't. I don't think it'll track it.
That's not a
It
bad
probably
idea.
still tracks it, but
I mean, I still,
just-
yeah, I guess there's a part of me that does outdoor walk anyway, 'cause I want to see that map. I'm like, oh, it looks pretty cool. It tells me my elevation and all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Well, I'm finding.
let's expand this. Like obviously surveillance in terms of security, since we're pretty much like we don't like that so much. What about surveillance in terms of like health, like Whiting's the company, like they have a scale, and I think they also have a belt where like it's always monitoring like your blood pressure and your weight,
Right.
and like how would I feel like if that information goes to like your health insurance,
No, that's
and like
Yeah.
because of that,
that's
Like,
so I feel like that's invasive. I feel like that we shouldn't be, because then people will find, I mean, obviously that's a way to get you to advertise, right? They'll advertise certain things, but if you put it in a workplace like that, then they look at you as a risk, right? So let's find a way to get rid of this
raise
guy.
your rate.
And I also feel what that does, it
but it also has positive effects. Like it might notice like, hey, like your blood pressure is
Okay.
dropping, or like you have high blood pressure. So there's positives of it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true
the
too.
health
I
company shouldn't have to be responsible for you taking care of you. You should be taking care of you.
Don't
Yeah.
get George started.
I don't want anybody to take care of me. I'll take care of that.
Sometimes all people want to do is just buy the stuff, get the belt, and okay, I'm taking care of myself by delegating that responsibility to my belt, to my fancy belt.
Why I have my own gym at home. This is why. And my biometrics
Oh man.
come back perfect. So I think I must be doing something right.
that's what I got.
What do you use for your fitness? Like, what tech do you use for your fitness, George?
I have 2 indoor exercise bikes, a recumbent and an upright, and I have a treadmill, and I've got about 400 pounds worth of weights, and I have a machine, something like the Chuck Norris machine that I use that. And I have a heavy bag, which I had to put in storage because I couldn't fit it in the room here. So I always have my own gym.
I was
Plus,
trying to
I
find,
can ride my bicycle.
I meant for
George is ready for
the. I know you have the stuff
George
that
is
counts
ready
your
for
miles,
you.
do you have anything else like a Fitbit or something, or Apple Watch?
Yeah,
the Apple Watch.
yeah, I have the Apple Watch. Once
George
Will
is
told me on
ready.
the Apple Watch, my Fitbit got put aside. Rita wears that now. I don't.
Yeah, I don't even use my
George is ready.
anymore. Ever since I got the Apple Watch, I don't even think about
The
the
Apple Watch spoils you to death because
It
it
does.
gives you better information. I think way better than anybody else. Because I've had.
How about
I've had who's the other big company? I've had 3 or 4 different kinds of fitness watches, and Apple Watch is way better than all of them.
okay? So how about if the Apple Watch gave your health stat to your doctor? Would you
No,
be okay with that surveillance?
No.
Yeah, well, no, I don't.
No, not even your doctor.
I
not
am
even my
not going
doctor.
to make my
No.
doctor responsible for my health. I'll
No.
take care of
No, it's
myself.
not even that.
Nah.
Those doctors are they all those pharmaceutical companies that come in there, the salespeople to buy their drugs or whatever. No, because then they're gonna pitch that stuff off to me. Oh, you
Yeah.
have high blood pressure. Oh, you have high cholesterol. Oh,
Yeah.
I have the medicine for you that'll
Yeah,
take.
because they get a
Doctors
kickback.
are supposed
Yeah.
to be above
And that's
that.
the pharmaceutical.
They get a
I
kickback.
think the doctor's only supposed to consider that if they have medicine to give. Otherwise, usually if a doctor notices you have high blood
Everybody in
pressure,
America
they
on
tell you other stuff to get it down naturally. The
It-
good
it-
ones,
All I'm
Wait.
saying is it opens the basis for someone to abuse that.
I agree.
That's how I feel about it.
I only know
They get
I
a
only know 4 people in their 70s who don't take any prescription drug, and by some strange coincidence, all 4 of us are from Hudson County, New Jersey. Don't know why, but I don't take any prescription drugs, and it blows their minds in the doctor's office when you say that.
I mean,
they get a kickback though.
in today's
Oh, yeah,
yeah, how does the bud speak? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're all getting a kickback, and the pharmaceutical. Listen, when I was in Orlando and I was driving limos, the biggest in the year and a half I did it, the biggest convention they had in town was 20,000 doctors, all staying in the fanciest hotels in town, and all week long we were picking them up at night, taking them through some dinner, and picking them, and we were sitting around for 3 or 4 hours just getting paid. And you know who paid for all of that? Pfizer.
Yeah,
Every single one of them.
big healthcare, big pharma. They're all for-profit businesses that are trying to get them. That's why the healthcare industry is privatized. That's why look at what's happening right now. And I'm gonna go into a political rant here, but look at Gilead, right? Gilead is one of the biggest big pharma companies around, and right now they're trying to buy whatever cure it is for coronavirus or for COVID-19, whatever. And that money that they used, $79 million right now, is our taxpayer money. And that's been used for public funding to find the cure for coronavirus.
Okay.
But Gilead, this private company, wants to buy it, and then they want to patent it for 7 years so
Yep.
nobody can make
They can
any
sell it and
for it,
charge you a
and they
ridiculous
charge
amount.
whatever they do. And if you can't afford it, well, I guess you're going to die.
I guess
I
you
guess
just died.
you're going to go infect 20 other people.
And this is why I watch those commercials where, her son is on this medicine and my son needs this. And I'm like, they want everybody, adult and child in America, on a drug. And I refuse to take part. I will keep me where I don't need your drug.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
They
I used to
do.
live in England for like 10 years, and like I don't actually watch so much TV, but whenever I do happen to sit in front of a TV, like it always like it's weird to me how they advertise drugs, like
Yeah.
to people. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's a big
like
money
in
maker.
England, like, you don't see those commercials at all.
There's a guy who
Because
advertises nationally on the radio. They call him Big Lou. And at the end of the commercial, it always says, Big Lou will help you get your prescription. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on drugs too. I'm like, I guarantee you Big Lou's not like you.
Jesus.
He's on drugs too. Yeah.
But they've got these people to accept this idea that we should all be on a drug. I refuse to accept that idea. That's
No, I'm with you, George. I'm with you. I feel the exact same way.
Anyway,
That's right.
that
Drug
was
free
my
is the
rant.
way to be.
Yeah.
All right, I think
Well,
we.
I'm glad some
just
people are on
say no.
drugs because that's how I get paid. I need some people on some drugs.
I'm just glad that you're still healthy for being around these patients all day long, all night long. So I'm just very grateful. Still healthy.
George, look at the comment. George, you got to put the comment up.
Uh,
Good job, Rocky Balboa.
No, not that one.
okay.
The one by Brian.
Yeah.
This one,
There you go.
Dave. Given the
Oh, man.
I could drop some of them too, given the opportunity. But that's when I have to fight. Okay, you're born again Christian. You gotta love people, but boy, I want to hurt you. You know.
Yeah.
Gotta hurt the bad
Don't-
people. Maybe not physically, but let them know that we won't put up with, BS. So
Yeah.
All right.
yes,
What
they can. George doesn't know what.
is the age?
So Big Pharma can EAD is eat. You figure out the
Yeah, I was going for the BuzzFeed titles, like Big Pharma.
It's not like I'm old, okay?
Will. Did Will leave?
This computer one,
Will's just laughing back. He can't contain himself.
he
She
left.
sounds like that to you. Like, just say no.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Gary.
I like Nancy Reagan. Actually, Nancy Reagan looked right at me one day as she was driving by in a motorcade. That made me feel good. And remember that to this day.
Well, what did she say? Go for Texas or just say no?
Oh, man.
All right, Will, you had Eleanor cracking up too.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I ain't on the drugs yet either, George, but I probably will be soon.
Well,
No,
why?
man.
Don't take that out.
No.
I can't get it together, man. I sit down and see some food, and I'm like,
That's been my life this past week.
Why
I'm
you aren't like
turning it around right now.
you can do it.
fell off, George. I fell off,
All right, so get back on. Get back on.
man.
You've got
Well,
your
I'm-
own
As soon as the stream ends, Will's about to go get some pizza. So
Nah, don't even talk about pizza.
Hey,
I
I had
cheesesteak earlier.
well, okay, never mind then.
pizza this morning for breakfast, and I had
Pizza's the worst. Oh my god.
but because of what I do, I can do as much of that as I feel like.
You just lucky, man. I don't know.
No, it's not lucky. That's hard work. Trust me, that ain't
Nah,
luck.
but some stuff you just got it, man. I don't know. I can put away some pizza, George. You know,
I've
I,
been doing
I can
this
put away some. I don't just mean one pizza either.
yeah. Yeah, it's terrible. I'm gonna get it together at some point. I don't know.
I will pray that you do. And I know Jerome and I will both. This is what happens. Jerome and I will both support you, right, Jerome?
Yep, there you go. There you go. Okay, Will.
I was hoping, Will, that you would stay with the program Jerome did with the.
I'm trying, George. I'm trying, but you know what happens? I don't know how he does it. I really don't. My wife is Filipino and her mom, and when they start cooking, I don't know how he walks by and
I
doesn't
It's been tough
everything.
this week because I have no gym, but I'm getting back on that horse. So I see Eleanor said something there that's really offended me. So I'm very offended by that comment.
You see what?
Jersey
George, you see
pizza is the
Gary's
best.
comment?
I know those from
No.
Chicago.
Yeah, I disagree. I've never had pizza from Jersey, but I will tell you, Chicago has the best pizza, and I'm not just talking about deep dish. We also have the best thin crust. So
Now, of course, you know this is an ongoing argument between New York, New Jersey, and Chicago. This has been going on since I was
New
very
Jersey is in the pizza debate. I didn't even think we were in it.
New
I
York.
never heard of that. Yeah.
I knew
all-
Chicago and New York.
A part of the whole New York pizza thing, you know. And there have been people who have called me a traitor because I like deep dish pizza.
oh, there you go. There you go.
I've never had
I
deep dish
I don't
pizza.
like deep dish.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't like deep dish but if you
love
come to Chicago, I will take you to the proper places for good. So people think, no, hold on. People think Chicago is only deep. Okay, Carl, no. I mean, no, that's not. I don't
Yeah.
even. That's
Oh,
not.
I never even heard of that call. Come on.
No, that's not even a
Yeah.
conversation to be had.
It's not barbecue, okay?
No, like, but
Texas.
Chicago also has great thin pizza. I I knew you would say that.
She's on you now. Okay.
Oh,
I know, and I'll get riled up saying it because I just feel like Chicago has the best food. I mean, obviously, I'm wearing a hat that says Chicago, so
Okay. So I'm the
Yeah.
only one that I know that likes both New York pizza and Chicago pizza. You know,
I think
thanks,
good.
Gary.
I think it's good, but I don't think it's great, and it's not like something I don't know. It's
What-
not enough cheese,
what-
or enough salt.
what's the big famous place in Chicago that
What?
has
I'm sorry, I missed it. What?
the big famous place that has
Gary said New Jersey puts rat meat.
New Jersey puts a rat meat on their pizza.
Oh God.
The oil dripping out of a
Super jumbo.
And
Oh,
that's
on
true.
this call. Let's
New
see.
York,
Yeah, see, New Jersey
oil is always
New
dripping.
Jersey pizza is so unhealthy. There's like oil dripping out everywhere.
That's true. And that's how people in New York and New Jersey like their pizza. But Jerome, what's the name of the big place in Chicago that's famous for the deep dish?
Well, there's so many of them, but Giordano's is the big one.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's the big. Yeah, that's the big one.
When I worked at AT&T in Orlando in the 90s,
Mhm.
one of the girls from Chicago had it shipped down from Chicago. I fell in love with that stuff.
It's good. It's good. I can't eat it every day, but it's good.
Oh, I could eat it every day, no problem.
I'm actually taking a trip to Chicago next
Hit me
year.
up.
Eat
So
every day.
that's actually that's
I
on my
guess
first
now's
to-do
not
list.
the best time to hit me up, but hit me up when all of this is over. And like,
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going next year. So yeah,
yeah,
I'll
Carl,
put-
Carl, this is not even a conversation.
All right, so
Everything.
if I eat it-
I mean, it can be a big, it can be big pizza, but if it tastes like garbage, then why?
I wouldn't call it garbage, but I would
Super
say
jumbo.
I lived in Dallas for 3 years. Dallas had no place for pizza. What, Pizza Hut, Domino's? No, that's
Still. I thought it was called. What's it called? What did he say?
Oh,
What did he say on the
Domino's.
show, Jerome?
Domino's.
Yeah.
what's it called?
Oh God.
The good places in
Yeah.
Dallas for pizza, which is whatever, is Cane Rosso's and Grimaldi.
Carl's
That's
not
it,
back-
Brian.
Carl's
George,
not backing down either. Okay.
That's fine.
George can burn off the pizza in one bike ride. That's why he.
But-
can
and
eat
that
it.
is true. That's what I do. I found out years ago if I exercise enough, I can eat anything or drink anything I want anytime I feel like it, and it
See,
works.
I feel like if I did that, I could still eat
Hey,
more than
Siri?
I could burn off.
How many
That's
calories in a
how I
pizza
feel.
slice?
I'd say
I would
about
have to.
10 years into my exercising, this would have been
There are about
29 years ago.
391 dietary
realized
calories
that
in one
if I-
slice of pizza.
If I
See?
ate too much, I
That's-
had to exercise
How many
harder.
calories do you burn bicycling 17 miles?
What?
Here's what I
What's the
found.
question?
I'll tell you.
The pizza
Okay.
slice, it said like 300 calories.
It's
George, if I eat a
392
pizza,
calories per pizza.
if I eat a
slice.
pizza, George, I eat like the whole thing.
Yeah.
So,
Me too.
I
and I,
can't
and I
burn
still
that
do
all.
something else with
The
it.
whole thing, then you got to ride 50 miles, okay?
yeah, see,
Yeah, you have
I'm
to
not
ride
gonna go
15
ride
miles.
50 miles. I'm not riding that many miles.
That's
after
right.
you.
I have
You have
I'm
to
gonna.
go you have to ride 15. You have to ride 30 miles because you have to ride it at a pace of 15 miles
Yeah,
an hour on a
so-
bicycle to burn off those calories
George, you have to
in an
admit,
hour.
you have to admit, you have better genetics, I think, than me or
Yeah.
Will.
You have the genes.
Both my
You run
mother
the
and
gene
father
lottery,
had
George.
high cholesterol. They tended to get fat. I always tended to get fat until I started exercising, and I was about 10 years in before I stopped tending to get fat. So I still think it's nothing but exercise, and I certainly don't have any great genetics running into my family.
George, how much do you weigh?
Right? I happen to weigh myself today, 175,
And how tall are you?
6'3".
George, I weigh like 20 pounds more than you. and George,
You
George,
can
I'm
get it
short.
all.
And you're like half
George,
a
I'm short. Yeah, I'm short. Like you,
I stood next to you. I know how tall you are. Okay?
Yeah, you're good, man. You just got, like you said, you got good genetics.
He's in great shape.
It says here, this man wants to deny he won the gene lottery. You do. You're denying that.
No, I did not.
You're totally denying that.
Oh man.
That's Saeed putting those in, you know.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
what? I didn't know that either.
Okay, there's Carl. And I used to be around 225 until I got the bicycle 6.5 years ago, and I started riding bicycle a lot. I dropped 36 pounds in the first 6 months. I've kept it off ever since.
6'4", 220 doesn't sound too bad though.
Riding, I don't know. George, when I ride a bike, it doesn't even feel like I'm really working out. Like
Well, that's why I like to
I'm
ride
right.
outside, because I work out much harder than I do on the bikes inside. And Gary, no, I do not eat neck bones. Okay. One thing you should know about me, I am the most fastidious person you'll ever. If it's going to be messy in my fingers, I am not eating it. If it's going to be messy in my face, I will not
Neck
eat
bone.
corn on the cob. I will not eat ribs.
Carl rescinds his
I
score.
cannot
Carl
eat
says he's
messy
5'10" and 220.
Oh,
I do not
God.
eat anything that's messy. If it feels sticky, I don't want any part of it. That's just how I am. I am Mr. Fastidious, and I'm also the slowest eater on earth.
Oh,
So you
man.
probably don't want to go to dinner.
That also plays a part.
Yeah, if you
Because the
eat slow,
slower you
maybe that's
eat,
why.
the less you eat. Yeah.
Yes, and eating slow I know is good for you, but I am a natural slow eater, so I'm always the last
I
one.
bet you. I bet
So
your appetite.
once
I bet
again,
how
your
much you
genes-
put down is nowhere close to what I could put down.
Like, I can't hear both of you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying how much you put down is probably nowhere close to what I can put down, because I could put it down.
Well,
Like,
that's true. When I did
I'm
find-
about to start my YouTube channel where I'm gonna start doing mukbangs. I'm literally gonna sit and like take down 4,000 calories. Yeah, just wait. Coming.
Okay. Yeah, I do
Oh,
agree with you.
man.
As I got older, I could eat. I got full quicker and quicker and quicker. And Rita, same thing, and Eleanor, same thing.
For me, as I get older, I can eat more.
That's because you haven't crossed 50 yet. You watch it turn around.
Yeah, but Jerome, how can you eat that? I see. I don't know. You're lucky too, I guess, or you're just good, man. Because if I eat like that,
no,
I'm not losing nothing.
How
Again,
can you call him lucky when he's told us what weight he
Well,
can?
no, I mean I know what he does, but I'm just saying, even if I did that and then ate a lot, I couldn't lose nothing.
you're not
George,
fasting long enough. That's why.
Not yet. It's a matter of lifestyle.
That's, yeah, see, I can't. I'm telling you, I can't walk.
Nope. There he goes.
You just froze up.
Completely froze. It's work telling him he's working tonight.
Okay, you told it. You froze up totally because you were about to lie to us.
Yeah, I'm working tonight, but I can't walk through the kitchen or make my kids something to eat and not eat it. Like
I
I don't know how he.
Okay, then if you can't, then go work out right away.
You're good. Well, now I can't, George. There's no gym.
You do have a
That's
sidewalk.
not
You have a sidewalk.
the FBI.
Oh yeah,
Put
I
out
do
a
walk. I
fitness
do
app.
walk.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
I-
Jerome is
Will.
good,
The
man.
FBI put out a fitness app.
all right, Jerome, you and
Yeah.
Magic
Get you in shape for their fitness.
okay?
Wait, what's that, George? I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
You and I are the magic men, and Will must be right.
It's a
George-
lot. I mean, I'm working. I work to lose all this weight, and I'm still not even
Yeah,
close to
Well,
it.
I wish if I could lose what Jerome lost, I'd be happy with myself.
No,
I
Gary, I do not. Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh,
Will can't help himself, man.
Gary is crazy. Oh god.
Will, that's what Brian's saying to you. That would work for you. I know that.
What? Oh, yeah, maybe. I ain't got time, man. How am I gonna work and do all that?
You got to be able to take the lumps. When I was 50,
I just gotta be like Jerome and
when I was
stop eating.
55,
so
I
much.
thought of my bucket list, and one of the things on my bucket list was to box with pros. So I went to the pro gym, which happened to be the women's world champion at the time, and her trainer let me box with him. And you got to be willing to take the lumps.
Oh god.
Okay?
Brian, it's not lard. I know they use a lot of oil.
Yeah, it's not hard. Filipino food is good. It's not hard, though.
It's a lot of oil, man. It's good.
Uh,
And I don't even eat all of it.
Gary, I cannot stand spam.
That's because you haven't had a good spam.
No. That's because my mother used to eat it when I was a kid. You will never get spam in my mouth again. I guarantee you.
Ugh.
That's
I
all I
don't
ate
really-
as a kid. I ate
I don't like it either.
spam growing up.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It was good.
Stuff I eat. I don't eat spam. I don't eat jello, and I don't drink Kool-Aid.
So good.
Depends on you know. See, you gotta be you gotta make it. Spam is versatile. You can use it for you can put it with
Yeah.
and put
Mm-hmm.
One rule that I have: if I don't like it, I am not eating it. So you might as well not cook it for me because you're never going to put it in George. Period.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, guys. I think we're here a lot longer than we were
Right,
planning.
I think we've exercised everything. We've had our political points. We've had everything.
Yeah.
This is
We talked
my
about
third
Corona.
stream today, so I'm done. So
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You have
telling you.
earned a well-deserved rest.
yeah, because I got
Saeed, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
and hopefully I can start coming on every Friday again. So
Okay.
Just stick to this mustard.
Yeah, definitely, Jerome.
yeah, now that I'm here, now that I'm
Have you-
yeah,
All right,
now-
Will, next
What's
week
up?
it's you, right?
I think so. I guess.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
make sure we're on the same page. All right, let's start saying our good nights. Jerome, we want to start with you?
yeah, sure. Hey guys, thanks for coming to the chat. I'm talking like how I'm talking in my streams now. If you guys don't know, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Phone Jerome. Or you can find me on YouTube now. I changed my name there too, youtube.com/Phone Jerome. I do a lot of streams lately, but if you look at my older videos, I do a lot of photo comparison videos.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure out what I'm doing on my channel. But yes, thank you guys for joining the stream.
All right. And Saeed, you want to say something? You can give out your Twitter handle, whatever you want.
Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys. All 6 of you. Thanks for having me, George. You guys
Okay.
can find me on Saeed Ted, and I just started a YouTube channel on George recommendation called TED Talks.
Cool. Oh, awesome.
Okay, I found it. All right, I found you on Twitter.
All right. So now we're expecting you to be doing your own live stream one of these days. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your
Okay.
YouTube? What's your YouTube? Let me find it.
TED Talks.
All
It's like, oh, your channel's huge. TED Talks.
There you go.
right.
And he just started his channel, what, 3-4 weeks ago, right?
He's probably got more subs than me.
Yeah. About a week ago.
right. All right. There's Saeed's channel, folks. So get in there and subscribe to him, and hopefully we'll see him live streaming very soon now. All right, we'll say your good nights.
All right. Good night, everybody. Everybody, watch out for the virus. Saeed, you're gonna have to post it on Twitter because I don't see it. When I type TED's Talks, I get somebody else's channel with like 3,000 subs. But Yeah, I hope everybody has a good weekend. I got to work this weekend. I think they just text me.
right.
Um,
Everybody stay safe. Don't forget, next week we'll be on Will's channel, and I'll certainly get that out there. And thanks for coming by. Of course, you know you can find Mobile Geezer on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter. And I guess I'm going to have to start writing on my webpage again because people are signing up on my webpage, and I haven't written anything for 2 months. So that'll change hopefully next week. All right, folks, thanks for sticking with us, and thanks for listening to all our Jabberwocky and our arguing back and forth and our political thoughts and our fitness tips. Hopefully you learned something. Who knows? All right, folks, you all have a good night, and we'll see you next week.